I print it and I take it with me. Okay? The other item that I would encourage you to put in your showing package is the directions from one property to the other. Okay? Again, I'm showing yesterday, my phone keeps losing direction signal. My Google Maps function keeps going out and I'm driving blind. Okay? Print the directions. And again, Lulu, once you get your results, there's a little car up there next to the quick CMA button. And if you click on the car, it will, first of all, you move the properties up and down. You rearrange them in the showing order. Then click on car, and it will give you detailed driving directions from one to the other. You want one of those for yourself and one for your buyers if they're driving separately. Okay? That should all be in your showing package. Now, I'm going to encourage you, don't give this to the buyer as you're going from home to home. Keep it yourself. Okay? Because you don't want them walking through the house doing this. You want them walking through the house doing this, okay, looking up. Now, they're going to ask you questions. What's the square footage of this home? Well, let me check. You're the source of information, okay? What's the sale price? What year was this built? It puts you in the position of knowledge. As a professional, you have this with you, okay? Now, I'm going to show you what to do with it here in the next 5 minutes. So we're going to end at 12 o'clock. Okay? So meeting number 2, you get back together, you review the needs, you show them the homes you found, you show them you have showing packages of each one. By the way, ladies in particular, but because there's only ladies in here now, if you don't know these people and they've not been referred to you, have them come in to the office, make a copy of their driver's license, and leave it with the front desk. And you just tell them, our broker requires us for security purposes to copy driver's licenses of anybody that we're showing properties to before we go out. Okay? Please do that. Please do that. Okay? Hey, and if you get the heebie-jeebies at any point in the process, do not go out. Okay? Use your little spidey senses and be as creative as you need to be to get out of it. Okay? Oh, I'm sorry. My son's school just called. Okay? He's throwing up. I am so sorry. I'm going to have to go. Okay? We'll have to reschedule.
You can reschedule with a colleague, right? Just to be safe. You don't have to write them off.
Oh.
You can reschedule with
in the moment, you just want to get out of it, okay, and say, hey, let me follow up with you. I'm so sorry. And then you can regroup and say, okay, do I want to go with a colleague? Do I want to refer this out? Do I want Frank to get involved? Then you've got time to consider your options. Just don't put yourself in danger if you have any inkling that something's not right.
And I would like to add to that, because that's something that happened here in town. Confidence people who are manipulative and do this will stay with you. There's one lady in Houston, nothing happened until the 3rd time she went out. He was gaining her trust in him before he struck.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so keep your guard.
All right, and get your CHL. That's another discussion. Okay, page 28, in the car. As you drive up, if you can put them in your car, that's best. If you know them and trust them, and if you don't, you shouldn't be out with them. Okay, but if they don't have little kids and they're comfortable in your car, put them in your car. As you drive up to the neighborhood, say, hey, how do you feel about the neighborhood?
Can I ask you a quick question? So
Yes.
Bring them back here.
Meet for meeting 2.
And then go over everything with them.
Yeah, I would sit down with them in the conference room and say,
go over all the packages.
let me share with you our plan for the day. Okay, here's our plan. Here are the homes that we're going to look at. Okay. Oh, come on. Yeah, we're going to meet. We're just 5 minutes behind. All right. She's talking about rookie agent ICU, which will start immediately after this class. Okay. So do you like the neighborhood? If not, hey, you know what? It's been my experience that if the neighborhood doesn't really do it for you, you're not going to be happy in the house long term. Let's just move on. Do not waste their time or yours. The neighborhood's bad. They might get the home they want and not want the home they got. Okay? As you pull up to the curb. They like the neighborhood, you pull up to the curb. Hey, tell me what you think about the curb appeal of the home. If they're like, ugh, there's no windows on the front of the house, it looks like a dungeon. You know what? It's been my experience. If you don't like the exterior of the home, you're not going to like the interior. You're not going to be happy here. Let's just move on. Okay? No need to waste your time, and I'll just call and cancel the appointment, okay? So you're only going to get inside a house when they like the neighborhood, they like the curb appeal, now you go in, okay? And I'm going to summarize the rest of this dialogue. It's found in detail in your manual, but as you get to the front door, ring the doorbell, knock loudly on the door, even if it's unoccupied, right? It should be unoccupied. It might even be vacant. Do all of those things. Once you unlock the door, swing it open and call out in a loud voice, "Realtor," even if it's vacant. You do not want to surprise anybody. I surprised a woman recently, okay? And I had a scheduled appointment and I was there at the right time. But apparently CSS had confirmed with her husband and not told the wife, okay? You do not want that to happen. So call out in a loud voice, okay? By the way, I got inside this house and I'm looking around and the signs are telling me that somebody's there, okay? You know what the signs were? A woman's purse open right there on the dining room table by the front door. What woman leaves her purse there when she's gone, okay? I holler out multiple times. I get no response and I'm still, all my little spidey senses are going off. So I go back to the front door and I ring the doorbell about 8 times, step back in, and then I hear a voice from upstairs, okay? And that's when we had this little dialogue, okay? And she was very nice, but it could have been a really bad situation. Homeowners in Texas are armed. Don't surprise them, okay? Don't let your buyers surprise them. So call out. If you're confident it's clear, step back. Let your buyers walk in and tell them, look around the home, look anywhere you want, turn the lights on. I'm going to let you self-discover the home on your own. I'm going to trail behind just to turn lights off and tidy up behind you, okay? By the way, as they're being wowed by the features and amenities of the home, you are looking at structural issues. You're looking for cracks, you're looking for water stains, you're looking for what could be potential issues that they're not going to see, okay? So that's your role. Once they go all through the house, you lock up, step out on the front porch or the front yard, and you ask them the question, if this were the only home on the market right now that met all your criteria, could you see yourself living here? Okay? Would this be okay? If they say no, we would not live here under any circumstances. We'd rather sleep under a bridge than live in this house. It's disgusting. Then you take the showing packet that you so carefully prepared and tear it in half in front of them. It is no longer an option, okay? If they say, yeah, it's not perfect, but yeah, we could see ourselves living here, then you keep it and that becomes the basis of comparison with the next home. What you're going to do, you don't want them having 8 homes in their mind trying to figure out which one they like or like best. You're always going to do a one-on-one comparison. If they said, yeah, we could live here, you go to house number 2, you do the showing, you step out on the lawn. Let me ask you a question. If these were the only 2 homes available on the market right now, the one we saw that you liked and this one, which one would you prefer to live in? I think the first house. You take house number 2 and tear it in half. It's no longer an option. You go to house number 3. You do the same dialogue, but you're not comparing now to 3 houses, right? You're always do a one-on-one. You have the home that they previously saw that they liked the best. Now at some point they're going to say, don't tear it. I'm not sure. Okay, let me tuck this one in the back of my notebook. I won't tear it in half yet. Okay, we'll save that in reserve. Let's go on. Continue to do your one-on-one comparison, okay? And then when you get to the end, okay, you're going to have 2, the last home and the one surviving, okay? And then maybe that third one. And at that point you ask them, and I had this dialogue yesterday with my tenant prospects, and I said, hey, not saying you have to choose one of these, but of the ones, of the 2 that we have left, which would you want to live in? And they narrowed it down to 1, okay? I wished I could say we wrote an offer on that one, but they want to look at a couple more today, okay? But we know the one, that we have the one from yesterday, that's going to be the basis of comparison today, Okay? That's just a proactive process for ensuring that they stay focused. Okay, so go to the end, page 34, supplemental materials. And here you'll see the thank you letter. This is after meeting 1. If they agree to work with you, you send them this letter that just describes the process you're about to go through. And just like all the other documents, I would encourage you to personalize this. And I've noticed one thing on here that's a little bit out of date where it talks about waiving the option. We don't waive options anymore. We complete option periods. We don't waive them, okay? So just kind of update the language a little bit. Page 36, if you're not going to work with them, send them a little note card. They might have somebody else who wants to buy or sell that they would refer to you, so maintain a good relationship. Page 37, what goes in your buyer file? Here's a list of those documents. And by the way, Betty Lips is going to do a Realtor Roundtable for us next month in which she shows you exactly how she does her buyer and seller files. But if you need some help in setting one up, here's what needs to go in it. Okay? And then a vendor sheet, which is all the parties to the transaction. The co-op agent, title company, mortgage company, and inspector. That should be in your buyer file also. That's presuming you have a hard copy buyer file. And I'm going to tell you, I don't. Okay? I use Back Agent for everything. All of these documents, all of these vendor contacts are in Back Agent. They're accessible online. But some people who are comfortable online still want the hard copy. And I've had Betty tell me she wants those hard copies when she walks into the closing, so if there's any question about anything at all, she's got a hard copy reference right there. So again, she's going to show us how we do that. Okay, that is the relationship selling method for working with buyers. Any questions about that? Pushback, feedback?
What was, go ahead.
The YouTube channel you were talking
Yes, go to youtube.com, search on Prosperous Agent. There's a little Google search window right at the top of the page. That is our in-house training channel. Once you get there, you're going to see hundreds of videos scattered randomly. It'll make no sense to you. So select playlists, and that will organize them all into classes for you. Okay? And this class will be online in about 48 hours. It'll just be called Basic Buyer Conversion.
So, Frank, with all this information, this was so good. How do you, what's your recommendation on putting this all together so when you're speaking to the buyer,
Yes?
you've memorized it? Or
Yes.
You know, what do you do? What's
Yeah.
your,
Yeah, you study. You study the material, you practice it, you say the scripts out loud. You don't want to try to slavishly memorize it, you just want to internalize it, get the big ideas. That's why I said, what are the 3 big ideas for the Get Focused meeting? Just get that in your head and then it'll come out in your own language. Okay? Get a partner and go through it with each other. Set up a mock buyer Get Focused meeting where you play different roles until you're comfortable doing it. Okay, let's take a 7-minute break. If you are a rookie agent, you are welcome to meet us back here at 12:15 and we'll have a 45 or 50-minute conversation about your issues and challenges.
Now, that Exxon training, can you just hop in anytime? Or
Of course.
do you have to, it's not a...
Yeah, you do have to pay a financial